And all of them, there is something that we owe them. It is up to us to ensure that we satisfy our stakeholders. If it is counties, we ensure we uplift our order fill rates from the current 54% to anticipated 90%. If it is our donors and our partners, we have USAID, we have Global Fund, we have UNICEF and the others, we ensure that we deliver to them what they came for. And also, of course, to the ministry the same.
All of us know that this organization has suffered the unnecessary disrepute of grand corruption and tainted the overall image of the government, both past and present. You know that when people out there are talking about corruption, the name Kemsa comes in every other minute. This has been done like Kemsa, or it is not as bad as Kemsa, or this is worse than Kemsa. This has to stop. Mr. Chairman, Bwana CEO, Bwana PS, our good senior management sitting here, it has to stop, and you have to stop at once. We cannot continue seeing the good name of Kemsa being destroyed by the few elements, very few elements, amongst you, who are out to destroy this country in the name of enriching themselves through bribery, corruption, theft, fraud, and all what it takes to steal the money of government. It is unfortunate that the first series of significant anti-corruption actions by this administration are once again in Kemsa. It is unfortunate that as the new administration was walking in, the first call of duty in as far as stopping corruption on its tracks landed in Kemsa. Last month, His Excellency the President released the Principal Secretary for Public Health and Professional Standards and effected other changes within Kenya Medical Service Supplies Agency, Kemsa, and the Ministry of Health. His Excellency the President also transferred several principal secretaries and has since nominated 2 new replacements in due regard. His Excellency the President has pronounced himself on corruption with firm resolve. Though it takes little pleasure in disrupting his government in such a grave manner, he will not hesitate to take such action again for the sake of the great people and nation of Kenya. I have noted that from 1st July, the contracts of 200 staff members rendered redundant will not be renewed as the organization adopts a designed, performance and service-oriented organizational structure. So, if you are exiting, don't mourn. Exit knowing that you have exited to make Kemsa work. Because you can come around and become a supplier. You need to have an institution that you know people, that you can come here and supply, and you are paid, and you are happy. So I support rationalization, I support reconfiguration, I support staff evaluation, job evaluation, I support restructuring to make sure that human resource structure is responsive to what Kemsa is meant for. This is a message from His Excellency the President that the entire government has been put on notice. The entire government officials have been put on notice that we have to fight corruption. Corruption should be slain. And we have started. As you can see, I've had meetings as head of public service from all the investigative agencies. We have discussed, we have agreed to have come up with a strategy on how to combat corruption. I've had meetings as part of the strategy of sensitization. I've had meetings with chairmen and CEOs of state corporations. I've had meetings with PSS, all the PSS. We had 2 days meeting retreat to discuss on how to ensure that we have efficient and effective management of government and ensuring that we eliminate corruption. I've had meetings the other day, yesterday, I had meetings with all the heads of supply chain, all the heads of accounts, all the heads of finance, and auditors and procurement, because that is the area where there's a lot of dealings, because they handle a lot of paperwork. So we discussed yesterday in Kenya School of Government, and today I'm here also to pass the same message. And this message is to sensitize our civil servants, our public servants, to realize that this is a new dawn, and fighting corruption will not be weaponized. We want to institutionalize the work against corruption. We want all the staff, every member from management down to the messenger, to be part of the process, to be part of the army that will fight corruption. And that is why we are doing this. Generally, a wage bill should be 40% and below. But now if you get wage bills goes as far as 60%, 65%, 70%, then what is left for development? Nothing. So we are calling ourselves to the table, and we are saying, look, how is the wage bill? How can we ensure that we get substantial amount of money to go to development? And the only way to do that is to revisit the issue of staff establishments, the structures that we have, and we map it with the workload that is in every institution, whether government or parastatals, and get the optimum number. And that is why many institutions, majorly parastatals, have realized that they have more staff than they need. And that is why you can see when we say that those who are in contract will not be renewed, it is because we want to optimize for the sake of having enough money to develop this country. Or else all the monies will be in the pockets of employees and nothing will move.
If you look at the newspapers every time you read about Kemsa, the head of public service has come here to give us assurance that indeed the good work that you're doing should continue. He has also come here to tell us the facts the way they are, and to inform you that if you are the one that is causing the bad name of Kemsa to go out there, then you are not in the right place. But just to give you the assurance, head of public, this stuff, I know they're very anxious. The reforms that are now going through Kemsa, through the new board that you picked, will touch some of them. But the assurance that you want to give them today basically is to tell them that if you've been doing the right thing, then you will be in the right place here at Kemsa. I want to give you the assurance from the ministry also, through the Cabinet Secretary, Dr. Susan Nakumicha. 1 month ago, she came to introduce to you the new board of Kemsa. And the assurance that is giving you is that the ministry will continue supporting the functions of Kemsa. The ministry will support the board of Kemsa in whatever decisions they are going to make. And thank you, Head of Public, for giving us the assurance and giving the board the assurance that you are going to work very closely with them so that you bring reforms to Kemsa.
As you all know, and I know a lot of you are very anxious around the people issues. Just about a year ago, we had over 960 people, and most of them were working from home. When we came in as a new board, the first thing that we did is to recall the 200 staff who are working from home. And right now, everybody is back in their stations. With that, we are rationalizing the staff here to ensure that we are left with the people who will help us drive Kemsa forward. Even if someone does not get a renewal, it does not mean that we have issues with them. It's just that we only have so much in terms of our establishment that we can get. As an organization, we suffer a lot because of the erosion of our capital during the COVID period. And we are working very closely with government, and it's part of their recommitment to Kemsa to see us getting properly funded to pay our suppliers, to meet our obligations, so that even the things that everybody is complaining about on Kemsa not being able to achieve this and that, those will go down. But at the same time, we have to have systems to hold people to account. There is no money that we will be getting to go to people's pocket. There is no money that we'll be getting to be wasted. We will have proper systems that track from the beginning. If we have something lying around and it's slow moving, we need to know who ordered it, who made that requisition, so that at the end of the day, we'll start holding people accountable for their action. Issues of our image out there. I know all of you suffer the same. Whenever you tell someone you work at Kemsa, they wonder, the first thing they ask is whether you are a billionaire. And maybe you are not. I can't speak for you. So that's something that we all have to work together to ensure that we get the right image for Kemsa. And the right image cannot be built in the media. It starts here. Once we are able to create that culture through system policies, then it goes out through our performances.